G'day, it's RJ here from the ALiVE dev team, and today I just wanted to go through the new and improved logistics module. So on this test mission we've just got a simple ALiVE setup. We've got requires ALiVE, the profile system, admin actions, and we've got a military placement for Blue 4 and opcom for Blue 4. And you can see this is the tail for the Blue 4 forces. So to use the military logistics module, it's the same as it was previously. You just have to sync it to your opcom for that side or for the factions. So let's just place that. Okay, there we go. So we've got our military logistics module, which is synced to the opcom. Now let's have a look at some of the settings on the logistics module itself. So for the moment we're going to have debug on so we can see what it's doing. The reinforcement type option determines how the logistics system will determine where to insert the forces. If it's a dynamic reinforcement type, then it will go by the highest priority objective that the opcom currently holds. So because our TAOR covers the airbase, that will be the highest priority. So as long as the Blue 4 opcom controls the airfield, the logistics insertions will happen here. And because it's dynamic, it will fall back according to the objectives that are held. So if the airbase is lost, it might fall back to the next highest military objective. So it might be Camp Rogaine because there's a helicopter pad there, or it'll generally prefer air transport assets. So if there's a helipad, that'll be a reasonably high priority. And if that one's lost, then it might fall back to Air Station Mike, and onwards until once he has no objectives, if he's almost been defeated, then he might insert at marine locations. So that would be simulating like a landing force or something like that. So for a static reinforcement type, that just means that there's only one objective that can be reinforced via. So, and that is determined by the closest military objective to the actual placement of the module. So if I wanted to make sure that the airfield was going to be the only logistics insertion point, I drag my logistics module over the top of that airbase, and that would be detected as the one and only logistics point. So as long as the opcom is in control of this objective, logistics will be able to insert at this airbase. But as soon as he loses that objective, the reinforcements won't be able to be inserted, and they'll just be switched off until the opcom or players can retake this airbase, and then the flow of reinforcements will start again. So the next option is the force pool, and that defaults at 1,000, I think it is. So that's the maximum, the number of groups that can be generated via the logistics. So that is a fixed number for if it's on one of the number settings. So you've got quite a few. So you can see you can select anywhere from 50 all the way up to 20,000 groups. And you can also select infinite so that the number of groups will never run out. Or you can set a dynamic force pool. A dynamic force pool is calculated by the number of objectives the opcom holds. So if he holds the whole map, then he's going to have quite a large force pool. And as he loses objectives, that force pool will be adjusted downwards, and as he gains objectives, the force pool will be adjusted upwards. The next 6 options on the module are just you can block different types of units that can be requested. So if you only want infantry, you'd turn all the rest of these off. So to display some of the logistics actions, I'm just going to set the reinforcement type to dynamic and the force pool to 200 and allow everything else. So because the reinforcement type is dynamic and Bluefall will be holding the airbase, you can assume that the reinforcement point will be at the airbase. To test this initially, I'm just going to move my player somewhere else on the map, and then I'm going to simulate some opcom requests for reinforcements just to show what the reinforcement system does. Alright, so I spawned into a map at a random location. The logistics system has started up. Just have a look at the map to see where everything is at the moment. So you can see there's only one group at the airbase and a few others scattered around. So I'm just going to run a test that will ask logistics to come to my position. So you can see that the units are starting to spawn in at the airbase, and you can see that that's the insertion point there. Okay, now we can see that the destination point is where my player is, and that the profiles are currently moving towards the destination. You can see a helicopter is right out in front, and then the vehicle units are following behind. There's a view of the logistics system inserting and assigning a destination, and that was all just virtual profiles. So now I'm going to have a look at what it looks like when there's actually players around when all this is happening. And just a note that yeah, of course Opcom will be defining where these reinforcements are delivered to and etc. I'm just using my player location as a bit of a test at the moment. Okay, so I've moved my player to a better location to display the actual destination handling, and now I'll put in another request and we'll go and see what it actually looks like at the airfield when the when everything is inserted, if there's players around. Okay, so the profiles have been spawned at the insertion point, and we just do this by parachutes at the moment so that things aren't appearing on the ground. I can see where the jet's been requested, has arrived at the insertion point. Requested units all falling to the ground. Alright, so our units are on the ground, and now we spawn transport vehicles for the infantry profiles to load into, so all the infantry profiles will be going to climb into their vehicles now. So infantry profiles will load up into their transport vehicles ready to convoy to the destination. There they go, starting on their way. See the jets heading off to the destination. So the profiles have made it to their destination position, which is just near my player, and they should be about to unloading, or the unloading of the transport vehicles anyway. Okay, so the transports are unloading, and after that the transports will head back to the insertion position. Hopefully not running over too many of their own men. And off they go back to the insertion point where they will despawn once they're out of spawn range. So there's a look at the changes to the logistics module. There's a few other things I didn't cover. There's direct airdrops and helicopter insertions, but they all sort of work in the same way, and you'll probably see them as you're playing ALiVE in the future. We've also released the API for these logistics requests, so you can call the logistics module in your own scripts and request your own sort of reinforcements and groups to come to different positions.